His Excellency, Mr. Om Birla, Speaker of Lok Sabha, His Excellency, Mr. Duarte, President of IPU, Excellencies, Speakers of G20 countries, Excellencies, government officials, Excellencies, South African delegation, my host, distinguished guests, media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed here. Namaste. Allow me to thank the people and government of India for warm hospitality extended to me and my delegation since our arrival. I stand before you not only in my capacity as acting president of the Pan-African Parliament, but I am here on behalf of the united voice of the people of Africa. On behalf of the entire 1.4 billion Africans and my own behalf, let me take this opportunity to thank members of G20 countries for admitting the African Union as member of G20. We are also making history today by being a member of this August Assembly. Thank you for this great honor. Excellencies, we understand that there are so many equally important and pressing agendas which are expected by the world to be discussed in this esteemed gathering. Among others, Ukraine-Russian war, Israel-Palestinian issue, especially food insecurity and serious fertilizer shortage, which was induced due to war and highly affecting productivity in Africa, practically leading Africa to shortage of food. However, of course, as disciplined members of this gathering, we will be limited within the items on the agenda. In this regard, allow me to bring to your attention that African governments gathered for the inaugural Africa Climate Summit in Nairobi, Kenya, from 4th to 6th September 2023, in the presence of global stakeholders, reiterate Africa's readiness not only meet our own climate commitments, but to contribute meaningfully to decarbonization of global economy. With regard to the transition from fossil to sustainable, affordable, and clean energy for all, we in the Pan-African Parliament are in the process of passing a model law to serve as a blueprint for the transition. The Pan-African Parliament model law on climate change is set to address the following. 1. How African countries can speed up the energy transition without disruption to their various economies. 2. How African countries can take advantage of the abundance and competitiveness of the renewables to formulate ambitious renewable targets. 3. The development of African regional markets to leverage renewables and the equitable distribution of energy resources to achieve universal access. 4. The development of toll road African power sector transformation plans based on the systemic innovative approach. 5. The building up of the continental policy framework for just and inclusive transitions. Your Excellencies, with the introduction of the model law, the Pan-African Parliament will provide the platform to stakeholders to discussions and acceleration the green energy transition. On the issue of financing the energy transition, I would like to take this opportunity to add my voice and call upon the global community to act with urgency in reducing emissions and fulfilling its obligations, keeping past promises, and supporting the African continent in addressing climate change, especially to accelerate all efforts to reduce emissions to align with the goals set forth in the Paris Agreement. Honor the commitment to provide $100 billion in annual climate finance as promised 14 years ago at the Copenhagen Conference. Uphold commitments to a fair and accelerated process of phasing down coal and abolishment of all fossil fuel subsidies. Swiftly operationalize the loss and damage facility as agreed at COP27. As we rally behind LiFE is a beautiful campaign, it is incumbent on us as representatives of the people to enlighten our constituents to acknowledge that climate change is the single greatest challenge facing humanity and the single biggest threat to all life on Earth. It demands urgent and concrete action from all nations to lower emissions and reduce concentration of greenhouse gas in the atmosphere. I thank you so much. Muito obrigado. Shukran. Spasiba. Amasagnalo. Thank you.